And with that, it's good morning here on The Conversation, reaching you from TOSTV Network, Nigeria's digital first Pan-African news network. My name is Ade Sewasi. Today on The Conversation, I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of residents in the capital city of Abuja have been talking about. It's the rising spate of kidnapping in the FCT, making the popular saying that Abuja is relatively safe, looking like a facade at this point. There's been a rising case of kidnapping, people going missing in the capital city. And then so we're going to be looking at, on the show this morning, how to tackle that rising menace. And that's why I'm going to be talking to a security expert and consultant. Joining me via the telephone, he is Mr. Jonathan Isaac Onoja. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's just get straight into it. I'm going to ask you first, how do you think that the FCT has gotten to the point where day in, day out, we hear cases of people going missing, or, the space of kidnapping in the FCT is skyrocketing at this point? How did we get here, in the capital city?
Yes, the National Security Advisor have all the intelligence reports at his disposal. And then I want to believe that what we are seeing does not just start operating today. It's something that's there in sequence, but negligence on the part of those in authority to have nipped in ball, much of these SSCs that have, made us to look as if we are helpless, even down to the presidential villa, the breach of security and all of that. So, typically, when you see environments like the Niger State, Kaduna, and all of that, natural state attacks, and then you see the FCT at the center of it, nothing is done. It shows that the security architectures are not properly planned to mitigate those challenges around city centers. So it's not about it's not just all about the FCT as a federal capital, but then it is also back to their inability to curtail the challenge around the states where FCT itself is located. They have, brought us where we are.
So you're saying that what we're experiencing here is a spillover of, neighboring states and all of that?
Yes.
Okay, so but let's just get straight into what to do to actually tackle that menace. Abuja is supposedly one of the safest states in the country at this point, but it's looking like we're not going to have that anytime, in the nearest future. What can be done to actually tackle, that rising menace of, kidnapping?
Please, I want you to come again, please.
I'm asking what you think can be done to actually, tackle, the issue that we're talking about on the show, the rising spate of kidnapping. What can be done to actually tackle it from your perspective?
We should start by ensuring that we have a clearance operations around the neighboring states to ensure, because the elements of what is left in the neighboring states is what is affecting the FCT today. So if the neighboring state, like I mentioned earlier, Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Kogi, those few elements of banditry around those states, if they can actually curtail them and then still be to have what we call clearance operations, then we can see that a few areas in FCT where those people use as a hideout can be properly combed. Then we can come off all of these things. But then the question is that, do we have the will? Is there will to do these things? What is the plans? What are the plans of the FCT itself when it comes to security issues? What measures have they put in place today? What intelligence is the BSS saying, coming on board, bringing on board for the National Security Advisor? Like I said, you and I don't have those intelligence at our disposal. It's only the National Security Advisor that have those intelligence. So it's very unfortunate that even down to FCT, there are no, measures to, curtail the SSCs. Okay. And that shows that if the FCT is not safe, then the country itself is not safe. And that is the essence of these guys, operating within the neighboring state. It's not just the neighboring state that is their target. It's to weaken the security architecture around the state and to look at it that FCT as the Federal Capital Territory does not have the capacity to, to fight them. So when they have been able to defeat those around neighboring states, then they can come fully for the presidency. Because as it is now, it is not just about Niger State anymore. It is about the presidency. And that is the aim. If they can have the presidency captured, then that shows that they are in charge of the country as they have always wanted to be.
Okay, but do you think our security outfits have too many things to focus on at this point, and that's why we're having a lot of these security loopholes? Do you think there's too many things happening at the same time, and our security operatives cannot focus on all of them at the same time?
No, I think that what we are having now is just basically terrorism, banditry, and all of that. As it is now, we're not, even though it still happens, we don't experience it much. The two fighting of the thing. We don't experience two fighting. We don't experience quarreling and all that. It happens, but it's not on the momentum as it used to be. So their energy should be channeled towards ensuring that they bring to the barest minimum the case of insecurity around the city center. So it's not like there are too many things. It is because they lack intelligence, uncoordinated operations, and they're running out of ideas. Service at this point, I think it is high time we show them the way out. But would they do that? They have overstayed. But, when you come up with the case of the service chiefs, you equally look at it that the commander-in-chief of the armed forces is not actually ready to do the needful. So it's not about blaming the service chiefs alone. It's equally sharing some of these blames with the president, who is not ready to take the necessary actions. There are what we call proposals before the National Security Advisor, which we want to believe that has even been submitted to the president. But then they've been able to implement some of the ideal measures that have been, advised therein. Nothing like such. So we should not just blame the service chiefs. It's also looking at the presidency to say, are you willing to do the needful? Up to date, there are no intelligence gatherings in FCT as the Federal Capital Territory. There's no intelligence. And so many things happened, and you'll be surprised that when you even go to the police or the DSS, they say they're not aware. So what is the essence of intelligence gathering in the citizens in the Federal Capital Territory, where the commander-in-chief and the armed forces is situated, where he is posited that he is in charge, and then nothing happens to look as if he's in charge? It shows that our security architectures are weakened. And if they are weakened, it is high time. Now we have to invite the presence of other African countries to assist, because we cannot allow pride to kill us. We at this point we should be experiencing high level of security patrols at the city center. But today, what is it? Nothing of such. Nobody cares. So it shows that we are not ready to wake up from the slumber. Otherwise, if we know we don't have the resources, like you said, a lot of things are happening, and then some of these programs are eluding the memory of the service chiefs. It is high time we invite the ECOMOG to come and assist the Nigerian insecurity nightmare. We cannot continue in our pride and say we have all it takes when our ideas, our strategies are insignificant to mitigate the challenges. So it's just the will as it is. Like I said, it's the will.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on the conversation this morning. It was such a pleasure to have you share your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for staying with me up until now on the conversation. Do not forget that I'll be back here same time, same channel tomorrow. But before then, follow TOSTV Network across all social media platforms. It's TOSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The channel to subscribe to on YouTube is TOSTV Network. And of course, you can stream our website. You should stream our website actually, www.tostvnetwork.com, for news, stories, and happenings from across the world. Thank you for joining me again. My name is Adesu Alsi, and I'll see you again tomorrow.